Amazing. Good morning, everyone, and welcome to a live stream, a live commentary of an auction event. This is going to be a public auction of Savills, and we've got four amazing people here. We've got Saif Derzi, a prolific trader. We've got Tay Howard, trader and auction specialist and ex-auction house manager, and Samantha Williamson from Roma Finance as well. And we'll be commenting on Savills auction, and we'll be live streaming it here. And guys, shall we just take a moment to introduce ourselves before the auction starts in about a few minutes?
Yeah, definitely. So I'm looking forward to this one. I mean, I sell properties through Savills. I've bought properties through Savills. We've just completed on some stuff through Savills as well. So it's definitely an auction that I find is a very active one, and I'm looking forward to just seeing some of the lots, how well they sell, how well some of them don't sell, and just the nuances and intricacies of auction. So yeah, looking forward to that.
Samantha?
Oh, hi. Yeah, so I mean, I've not really sort of watched a live auction really before. I have actually bought an auction property recently, sort of just before Christmas. So I'm actually refurbing one at the moment. But obviously, from the finance side, we get quite a few applications for auction properties, auction purchases. Quite often they're very last minute, 2 weeks to go and we need to complete. But yeah, we get lots of these sorts of properties, commercial and resi, or mixed use. So yeah, looking forward to it. Excited.
Excellent.
Amazing.
So my name is Jay Howard, and over the last 5 years, I can say that now, pre-COVID and around COVID time, we used to do quite a lot of these live streams, I think on Facebook and a couple of other places. So we love actually watching a live auction. This is going to be a very interesting one for us. We're selling some properties for some clients in here, so we've got some real skin in the game. We're going to have some heavy motivation for them to have a very good day. We work closely with Savills in the same way that Saif does. We've bought and sold through them, as we do with most auctioneers. And yeah, this is a January auction, which 5-6 years ago you would not have seen Savills running a January auction. But not only are they running a January auction, they are running 2 auctions in February. So they are really starting to ramp up the number of auctions they're doing, and I think they're still staying over that 200 lot mark, which I think is fantastic for them. So hopefully in today's live, we'll be able to point out some things that may go over some people's heads. If you're a little bit green to auctions, you haven't done it before, then hopefully you're going to learn something there. But we're just really, really thankful that you came to kind of spend some time with us today.
Yeah, and guys, I think that my first ever auction that I went to when I started my job in property was in 2011. That was actually in January as well. And that was the only auction that ever was happening in January. And that was Harman Healy auction.
Yeah.
And I think they had like 10 lots or 15 lots or something like that. It was like January auctions used to be very small, but no longer. Like there's several auctions now in January. I think also has got an auction today as well. There's a couple of auctions tomorrow. Auction market has really, really increased since in the last few years.
Yeah, I think January and February are gearing up, especially before the stamp duty holiday, to be really, really good auction months for selling. I genuinely do.
Yes, and looking like the auction is about to start in a few minutes, so we'll be sharing the screen over there. And
I'm just
yes.
I've got 2 screens, so I'm looking. If you see me looking away, I'm looking at my other screen, and what I'll be doing in the background is just looking on EIG, just doing some general research about the lots as they come up as well, and just trying to understand a bit more about stuff. But I mean, I suppose really we could look at lot 1, because that's obviously going to be the first lot, but that's already looking like a pretty interesting, strong lot. I mean, that's what was it? Order of administrator, that one. So we know it's a genuine sale for various reasons, but most likely repossession maybe. 3-bedroom mid-terrace in need of modernisation, potential to extend. I don't really understand this potential to extend sometimes. It's like everything has a potential to extend and it's always subject to requisite consents. But anyway, fair enough.
But I think in here you see very clearly like what you can extend, right? You can like do a loft extension, you can probably extend at the back. And looks like this property hasn't been touched in about 30 years. Apart from this,
what I meant was it kind of always goes without saying, right, on a property like this in an area that's pretty well developed. But fair enough. They've also put potential to convert into flats, which is obviously fair enough, and located close to King's College Hospital and amenities of Camberwell and Brixton. So I think this will be a popular lot. As everyone knows, lot one is usually the kind of lot that you want to get everything started. You want to set the mood, you want to set the tone for the day. So yeah, I feel like this should sell quite well. Out of interest, where do you guys see this selling potentially?
That's a difficult one. I mean, this is the trifecta, right? It's by order of administrators. This is perfect. It means it's a very clean sale. It looks like it may be the worst looking property on a really nice street.
January sale,
and this is perfect. And it's priced cheap. You know, a house there you'd expect to be worth.
So guys, the auction has started. I think one of the important things about auction is that this initial formula and everything else. This is quite an important bit sometimes because auctioneers say a lot of things about bidding and lots that might have changed and stuff like that. So we just unmute this.
By bidding, you will paste your stuff by the pack. Only to the last second, like usual, I will count down for the first time, for the second time, for the third and final time before the gavel falls, to give you time to submit your bid. Once you are the
success. Lot number one, what do you guys think it's going to sell for? I have a spreadsheet here. I'm going to put the guesses on.
Oh God, this is terrible.
Hold on. I'll give you some context around it. So it's the only property available within its vicinity. If you go a quarter of a mile, just trying to see what you start to see. So 2-bed houses sell for 700 to 750. There's a few maisonettes at that value as well. And then there's a 4-bed terrace SSTC in what I'd say is really good condition at 900. That's for sale. Sold prices, and I'm just looking at Rightmove purely, not EIG data. Sold prices, there was a 6-bed terrace in probably, I'd say, needing a full modernisation, but not terrible condition. That sold for 745,000 in 2019. Just bear in mind, that's nearly 6 years now. So yeah, just thought I'll give you some context behind it because Samantha's probably thinking, I have no clue what London prices are.
No, exactly. Yeah, finger in the air.
Where do you normally buy, Samantha?
So I'm up in Manchester, so I'm North Manchester. The last one is Bury, where I've just started to buy.
Okay.
Yeah, it's good transport links, you see, into Manchester. So
amazing. So what do you guys think? What's
do we have a margin of error? Can we be like 5k above or below? Like
we can make as much error as you want.
Don't toy with my emotions. Do not toy with my emotions on this one. Have we got a 5k discretion either way?
No, is the answer.
I'm going first. I'm going first. I'll make it.
Wow,
I'll make it easy for you guys.
Okay.
All right. 625.
Oh, that's exactly what I was going to say. Fine. I'll go 615.
Wow. I'm going to go 695.
695. All right. Well, this is exciting.
Samantha, and obviously the people that are watching live, if you haven't seen the YouTube channel in the past, let me explain something to you. Piotr is on like a 96% success rate when it comes to guessing the sold prices. So just so I can set the expectation for the day, this is going to be painful for all of us.
I do get this wrong as well sometimes, very often. So, well, let's see. Shall we just listen a bit to Jeremy and how he conducts the bidding?
£525,000. with you, 525. 525 is bid. Thank you. £525,000 is bid. 525, 530 now. That's what I like it. 530. Thank you. 535. Can we see? 535. Keep going. £530,000 is with you. We're looking for 535 is bid. Thank you. £535,000 is with you. Can we see 540 now? 540. 540 is bid.
It's going slightly slower than I expected.
545. It's with you at £540,000. Some of you, I think. 545, 550.
People are just trying to fill the room and see how popular it's going to be. I still think it will get into the 60%.
I think so too. This is, you know, sometimes having your property at the very beginning of the auction isn't fantastic because people sometimes log on late or, you know, so it may take a while for the bidding to get up, but there's a chance it gets a second wind.
570, can we see? 565,000 pounds, 570. 565 with you, can we see 570? 570 bid, thank you. 575,000 pounds, can we see 575 now? 575. 575 is bid. 575,000 pounds. Lot 187 Cold Harbour Lane. Any more of this one? 575.
Got some momentum now.
590. 590.
I think Savills have about 6 or 8 auctioneers. So I think in the couple of hours that we're going to be here, we may even be able to pick our favourite. So create some healthy competition within the office.
I'm hoping it drops to ones now, so it gets close to my price. But yeah, we'll see. Drop to ones. Come on, do the thing that vendors don't like you to do.
Yeah.
I mean, 600 is quite a significant mark, isn't it? So I think that 605 now is a bit of a mental barrier. Sometimes it can still go on to do more, but I feel like it's now slowing down somewhat. It's reached a significant milestone, 600. So Piotr, let's go back and listen in and see what he's saying.
For the second time, you're going to lose it. We there? Increments to 2, so you can get a few more bids.
Okay. I feel like I should start explaining why I said why.
He's dropping it down to 2s. It's going to be interesting.
You're losing out the way for the first time. You need to bid £605,000 for the second time. It's going. I think we're there. All done. Third. Right ones. Little helps. 606.
They got 2 ones.
Yes, no.
Told you.
This is
what I needed.
605 for the second time.
I think it's going to go at 605.
Wow. It does look like that's it.
Jay, how does it
Wow,
feel?
that seems like a great buy.
How does it? Oh, actually, Saif was closer.
Safe was closest, yeah.
Wow.
But remember, there's no discretion.
I meant 650.
Piotr's ruined his record already. It's sold for 605, Piotr, not 606, by the way. I think you put 606 on the sheet.
Oh, 605. Yeah. Okay. So 605. Cool.
Wow.
Okay.
That sounds like a bargain.
I think that's about right, personally. Just with the refurb costs involved, you're going to have fees on top and all the. I actually don't think that's too bad. I don't think it's expensive either. I think it's good price. I think that's fair, in my opinion. I looked at that.
Brilliant. Well, this is an 8-bedroom HMO with office and staff area in Cheltenham.
Cheltenham is a good area.
You guys, so we look at that.
Imagine that'd be popular.
Oh, that looks cheap. 175 looks super cheap.
This property looks like it's the first time at the auction. 24 High Street.
What's the income level, Piotr? I missed that.
Well, I think
it's empty, isn't it? Is it so previously?
Yeah, vacant.
It hasn't sold previously. It is vacant.
Yeah, I think so. It was previously it was a HMO, I think.
Yes.
I feel like this will do quite well, personally. It's
let's see.
Is that next to a pub?
Yeah, would anybody be put off by the listing, grade 2 listed, possibly?
Yeah. And you get a sense for the type of tenant that was occupying it as well. This looks like a famous den of drugs.
Should we get some?
It's already at 195. We're behind on the schedule. What do we think it's going to sell for?
275. Piotr.
Okay.
Make it quick.
250.
Okay.
Right.
I'm going to go to 60. Is that what you said, Jay?
I said
I'm going
250.
260. Okay, I'm 260.
All right, I said 275. Samantha, what did you say?
245.
245.
Oh, come on, Samantha.
You either want to be you either want to be the one at the top or the one at the bottom, because you've got more likely chance of being closer. Let's listen in, Piotr. See what he's.
Let's listen in, yes.
235, thank you. 235, 240. Two of you on this. Anyone else going to go for it?
This is
Welcome.
strong.
Thank you. 240, 245. Telephone still there at 245, 250 now.
Oh yeah.
250.
This is looking good.
£225,000 with the telephone. It's big.
Come on, keep the momentum.
250.
That's it. You're all out. Let's go.
255. Telephone back 260.
Oh no.
260. £255,000 is on the telephone for the first.
Stop, Jeremy. Stop.
£255,000 for the second time.
Here we go. There's a couple more grand in this.
Still on this. 260.
7.5 grand. Jane will split the difference.
Just in terms of anybody who's watching, in terms of finance, the fact it's grade 2 listed would be fine from a bridging point of view. If you want sort of development finance to do the works and things.
£275,000 is with the telephone. 275 for the first time. Need to get involved. Going.
Yeah, today's not your day.
For the second time.
I'm warming up.
You done? By twos.
Okay. Looking good.
Jeremy, 275 is okay. You don't have to go down to twos. It's a good price.
Well done.
Third and final time, £275,000.
Bang.
Okay. Wow. Safe. This is impressive.
Do you get a prize for that? Because you got it spot on.
Yeah, I get the next property. God gives me a property.
Samantha, this is your territory. I expect you to do well with this one.
Oh, this is a really good lot. This is.
Isn't it? It's Wally Range, isn't it? I think.
Wally Range in
Just get into this.
This is semi-detached property arranged as
This one.
Yeah, Manley Road. Yeah.
And everything. Driveway and good size rear
Popular
garden.
area. Really popular area.
Yeah, I think I saw one on a 1-bed flat on the market for about 120.
Oh wow.
Samantha, you start us off on this one. Where do you think it will sell?
Look at this one. 660. All right.
Is it vacant? Is there income? It doesn't.
Yeah, no, it's empty.
No,
It's
vacant. I'm saying 475.
I think because it's empty, I think it's going to sell really well.
Yeah.
Like the vacant stock is doing really well.
I'm going to go 525.
Yeah. I'm going to go 500.
Wally Range is popular. I drove past.
It is. Well, I when I first moved to Manchester, I lived in Chorlton, which was next to it, and obviously Didsbury and Chorlton are very expensive nowadays.
Yes.
It was 30 years ago when I moved to Manchester, mine, but
where am I? What am I picking?
Go
back to what did you guys pick? Click on the
doesn't matter, Jay.
No, it doesn't matter, Jay. You've got 2 minutes, otherwise you'll be disqualified.
All right, 565.
565. There we go.
Oh God.
Let's listen into this one.
£420,000 with you. 440, 445. Thank you. 445, 450. 450, £425,000 with you. Any more? 450 big, 450, 455.
Yeah, it's got good momentum.
Big, 455, 460.
Should get to 500 this.
460, £455,000, 460. Slowing down. Need to get involved now if you haven't yet. £455,000. Has it 460 brings you back in? Are we done at 455? Not. No. 460. Welcome. 465.
Oh yeah, here we go.
470, 470, 475.
Some committed bidders.
It's Manchester and it's Wally Range. It's south of Manchester.
480, £475,000 with you. 480 needs to go again. 7 of you still bidding on this one.
Sorry, Piotr.
480 bid. Thank you. 480, 485.
Also, one thing to point out as well to everyone is sometimes lot one is the slow one where people are just testing out and feeling the room. So Lot 2 and 3 is probably better than lot 1 in
485,
my opinion
485,
nowadays.
490.
Because you've got a bit of momentum already.
490, 490, thank you. 490 and 495.
Yeah.
495.
I think 500 will be a
£1,000
significant
added,
milestone, but I do
495,
feel like it has a
490
bit
for the
more in
third.
it.
Going 490, that 495.
Oh my God, this is what that just happened. Someone just had a stroke while clicking.
This is where the cat bid on it by accident, or the dog, or whatever. Yeah.
510, 515.
Oh, wow.
Bid to bid, the only way. Don't sit back. £510,000 with you at the moment. Going if we can't do any better. 510 for the first time. Need to push you. £510,000 for the second time. We done?
Oh, yeah.
515. 515 is bid. 520. Gonna go again. Feel like we're getting close. It's slowing down. 515 with you. 520 on the bid to go again, or you can lose it. 515 with you this time then for the first. 515 for the second.
He's going to drop it to 2s now.
We there? Try 2s.
There we go.
Yeah.
Income's dropped to 2. Remember to go.
There we go.
2
bids in on 2s. There we go.
521. 519 for the first time. Your bid 519 for the second time. 521. 521. 523.
I think this is down to 2 bidders, maybe.
523.
This is 100%.
Come on, Jeremy. Don't let me down.
21. It's with you. Back with you for the first.
Drop it to 1.
Literally on the edge of my
time.
seat. I'm on the edge of my seat here.
525.
Come on.
Drop it to 1s, Jeremy.
525. 523 has it for the first. For the second. All done.
Wow.
No way, Saif.
Oh.
527.
This is where I want it to stop.
You
Like a
can't find
pinball
it.
machine.
Works for us. 525 has it. 527. Another 2.
He can still drop down to 1, Safe.
Don't wait
Come
for
on.
me. You're not buying it otherwise.
He's got it in his chamber. He will drop.
525 is with you for the first time. 527 back in.
Oh.
527.
Wow.
529. 529. 527 for the first. With you this time for the second. Going. We done? Third and final time. £527,000.
It looks like it's 5 to 7.
Wow.
Enter. Yes.
Sold at 527.
God save you on
Nice.
fire today.
$2 grand off.
Absolutely on
2 grand
fire.
off.
All right, let's take a break from guessing for a couple of months. Let's
Grab a coffee
regroup.
quickly.
One three-bedroom flat.
Oh, this is really good. And just want to say hello to the people who are watching. We've got some comments from Ravi, Panchal, Catherine Woods. Hello, Catherine, King's Removals, Martin, who we met on Diamond Property Network. Really good to see you guys here. Richard Platts is really, he's saying, morning, guys, you must be safe this morning. Yes, Saif is a strong starter. And morning, Marco. Really good to see everyone here. There's also one question from your land agency. Morning, guys. Do you use land property software such as Nimbus, Landstack, etc.? Good question. We actually only use property data and EAT. This is our life. But yeah, those other places are good for developers, I guess. So, what's
Lovely
what's
bit
next?
of Wimbledon. What's this?
I'm not sure I understand what it is. Is it just a top floor flat?
So
It's the 1 3-bedroom flat.
It's actually a freehold house. You're buying a freehold, but one of the flats is sold off. That's how I understand.
So is that a freehold flat then?
So you own a vacant 3-bed first floor flat and the freehold to the ground floor flat, which is a one.
Okay.
Doesn't say what the ground floor is, but basically you've got ground rent on the ground floor, and then you own the freehold to the top. So yeah, but
this is going to sell. This is going to sell very well. One of the first things that they put on the marketing is in the same ownership for approximately 31 years. When you see that, this is going to be big money.
Also, in
600
in Wimbledon, loft conversion, roof conversion, extension, whatever, there's big money in that. That can easily double the value of a property. Easily.
Wow, really?
Yeah. It makes a massive difference.
Okay.
Oh, you're right
is.
by the green as well. You are literally right by the green.
Yeah, my parents have lived in Wimbledon. My grandparents, sorry, have lived in Wimbledon for pretty much most of their lives, to be honest with you. And it's just such a strong market. It's a really good family-orientated residential market, strong market. People that have got good jobs and commute into the city. I mean, you know, houses you're talking about easily 2-3 million quid just for a standard house, not even a anything special, just a terrace. So yeah, I think for a flat, I could see this doing 650, 675 maybe. Good development opportunity, I think, for sure. And you've got the ownership of the freehold, so you've got full control over everything. But yeah, I think this sells to a developer or an investor, not to an owner-occupier, in my opinion, because an owner-occupier won't want to have the freehold of another flat as well. It's just a bit of a headache.
Yeah, it'll be an investor that will need to come in and create the lease and do the separation. It becomes easier to mortgage. Freehold flats, not the easiest thing to traditionally mortgage.
No.
Yeah.
What would be like, how easy would it be to get a bridging or something like that, Samantha, if it's a freehold with
easy.
that?
So
very easy.
so as long as you know that the intention is obviously to create a long lease, then yeah, that's fine during the sort of the bridge. Yeah, it's just we always have to be mindful of the exit, you see. So if there was no intention of doing that and it was just going to be a freehold flat, then obviously at the moment that would be, like you say, it's difficult to get mortgages or anything on that. So yeah, as long as you're doing the split during the bridge and it's something that's easy to do, then yeah, that's fine. We can look at that on.
Piotr, this is like the one we did in Hastings, if you remember, like the London Road style, where we bought 4, 2 sold off, 2 held, and they just do really well. They just do, when you can buy stuff like this, they do really well. But obviously this is slightly different, where it's only 2 flats, you own 1. Samantha, I was going to ask you about short leases. So it's quite a hot topic at the minute. So a lot of traders are trying to buy short. When I say short leases, I mean super short, like sub 10 years, not sort of sub 50 years that people sort of generally think about.
Okay.
I do understand that funding is an issue for that. Hence why we end up getting a lot of that, and we end up buying a lot of that. And we've done really, really well out of one recently. I mean, over 6 figures in profit within a month or whatever of buying it and selling it. But funding is an issue on that. Is there a reason that you guys, well, first of all, do you guys fund sub 50-year leases? And if
no, so normally, normally we're 70 years unexpired is the norm. Having said that, if it's something shorter, depending on where it is, so if it's London market, that's more commonplace to have shorter leases anyway than say like sort of where we are. So we can sort of case by case, and we very much will ask the valuers as to their opinion as to marketability and things like that. And also, again, we've got to look at the exits. How do we get repaid? If they're wanting to keep it as is and then get a mortgage, are they going to be able to get a standard mortgage on it? Or are they going to, say, do a lease extension? But if it's a lease extension, then obviously you've got to, again, make sure that they're able to do that. Normally, if say somebody was doing a purchase and they could do a lease extension at the same time, try and do a simultaneous one. Obviously, that's not necessarily going to work on an auction purchase, but you can do one where you're doing a simultaneous purchase. But yeah, I mean, I suppose if something that short, like 10 years or something, though, you're probably best if you had other assets, is leveraging off those. That's how we would probably do it. So I know, obviously, some of your members in your auction buyers club and things, we've been having discussions about those types of scenarios. So
like unencumbered property, you mean, just cross collateralization?
Yeah, it's just basically something, because obviously what you've got is a depreciated asset, haven't you? So obviously if we've got, I don't know, we might have a 12-month facility, and obviously the value of that property is going down if you don't do that lease extension. So yeah, we just have to make sure we've got enough security, really.
Fine.
So would you bridge, and then would you fund the cost of the lease extension? Not necessarily for a sub 10 year, but let's say anywhere between 70 and 25, right? Because then if you're funding the lease extension, you know that you're going to be getting closer to market value as an exit. Is that something you do?
So at the moment, the only way we do that, if we're taking that property as the security for the loan, then we can only do it simultaneously. So you do a purchase and the lease extension at the same time. then we can ask the valuer for obviously the marriage value.
Yeah.
And then obviously we can take that into account. So you've got your purchase price is basically effectively is the lease extension and the purchase of the property.
I see.
And then and we can do a loan against both of it. So really, that's the only sort of scenario we do at the moment, where the security, that is the security is that property. But I'd say if you've got other property that's unencumbered, then that makes it easier that we can use that as the main security. If you've got something that's a different sort of scenario,
Yeah.
Well,
so this property live on the screen, it's one of the lots offered by a lot of lots actually offered by housing association, and they usually sell either really well or they don't sell at all. Depends how they're priced.
Just on the Wimbledon one, which just sold, that sold cheap. That was very cheap.
Very cheap.
I mean, 2-bed flats. The last 2-bed flat in 2022 sold there for 690, and that was a 2-bed flat without any development potential. Yeah, that looks very cheap to me.
I mean, you would have thought it would have sold with a 5 in front of it, right? Maybe not 100%. A high 5, but.
So, yeah, someone got a good deal there. But anyway, we move on.
It's still more than 20% over guide. So there's at least 10% over reserve.
I think this one over here is very similar. It's in Elsfield, not far away from the Wimbledon one. And it's also a freehold with, I think it's a freehold with a sold off flat. Maybe we can see how this one is going to sell.
Mount View Estates. That's interesting.
This is Mount View, yeah. So this historically would have had a regulated tenant in there. And the regulated tenant has either passed away or done cash for keys or something like that. And yeah, they're now selling it vacant, which is, and they use auctions.
Great thing here you can see on the picture, there's literally one flat sold next door with KFH, and I think it'll be a really good comparable to what this one might sell for. And let's see. So this is actually, it's going to be a freehold with a ground floor flat. There's a lease on it, I think, already, potentially. Let's look at proper write-up on Savills website. So this is a first floor flat, and it's slightly confusing how it's written. Freehold sale, ground floor flat sold off. So you're getting the first floor flat exactly the same as in the previous one. And it also has 3 bedrooms, about 915 square foot. And what are the pictures like? It's in better condition.
Not terrible.
Apart from wallpaper. But yeah, this is and that plans over here. So this is what it looks like. The kitchen diner is really small. It's really kind of like a converted 2-bed. But because you're getting a freehold, I think someone could potentially extend into the loft. I think you would expect someone to do that.
Yeah, they could give themselves the demise of the loft in whatever lease they create, which would be a very smart way to play it.
The beauty of Mount View, similar to some of the other guys in the industry where it's like genealogy, where they've found someone that doesn't realize that they've owned this property because technically they've inherited it from some long lost aunt or auntie or whatever, is it can sell for whatever it sells for. They are not interested in maximizing the value of that. They're interested in putting it in for a reasonable guide and just letting it do its thing, finding its value, which sometimes means it ends up doing really well because people know that they're going to be able to buy something at the right money, or sometimes it can go crazy because it attracts too many people. But the beauty of it is you never know which way it will go. And I think on the Mount View stuff recently, we found they've done really well. Granger, Mount View, they've done really well because it attracts the people that know it's not a trader necessarily who's trying to, who's just recently bought it and haven't sell it. It's someone that's basically bought it, 20, 30, 40 years ago, who knows, and has bought it 50 pence in the pound, now has had capital appreciation from it and a tenant that's now left and unlocked the full value. And basically anything they sell it for over the guide is a profit to them.
Yeah.
Brilliant. So we still have a bit of time. What do we think this one's going to sell for? 450. The location, let me just show you the location. It's so this one was just over here. So it's not far away. It's literally across the train tracks. It is a different area. However, it's still quite a popular one and still lots of greenery and good things around.
I mean, that's it. If you're going to be in London, you want to be surrounded by these green spaces. It makes such a difference in terms of value being close to these stations as well.
I don't have exact numbers, but look at this 48A. That's a probably garden flat sold for 854.
595. I'm gonna go.
Oh, actually, this might be a first floor flat. 595. Yeah.
Yeah.
595.
Wow.
I'd say
Coming out the gates strong on this one.
I was originally going to say 540, but I think after that, I'm not so sure.
I didn't say 595. Saif said 595.
540, Samantha. You
Oh,
should go with your gut.
That was going off the 20% over.
So I'd say.
What was that, Jay? 450? 450. Right. Okay. Thank you. At least I'm only competing against two other people now.
I think this will sell for 610.
610.
I think it's selling with a 6. I think it has to sell with a 6.
I love how he wedged himself in there between me and you, Piotr. He just thought, do you know what? If it sells anything less or below that or above that, then I've got it.
But not only that, let's also look how the share price of Mountview Estates will be impacted by this sale.
That's right, they're PLC. Yeah.
Brilliant. Okay, let's listen in and maybe also unpack a little bit of what the auctioneer is saying.
500,000 pounds, 510, 515. 515. Always a popular area. It's 515,000 pounds and bid 520. 520, 525 now.
If you're watching this live, feel free to make comments. Let us know if you're on the edge of your seat as we are. Let us know what your guesses are, what you think it's going to sell for. Hopefully we can make this as interactive as possible.
Also interested to see if anyone's bidding on anything as well.
That's a good question. Yeah.
Well, we done at 5. No, we're not. 540. Thank you. 540. Bid 545. 545 is bid 550. 550. 545,000 pounds with you. 545. 550. Not 5,000 pounds. 550. Thank you. 550 now bid. 565.
Strong bidding.
555. Still a few of
I think this is the kind of time where auctioneer doesn't really have to do much, and all he needs to do is allow people to express themselves through clicking.
This is where the auctioneer can drink some water, scratch his head, just waste as much time as he can, letting people do their thing.
565 and 570. 570.
Now we're getting into the hot territory.
575. 570,000 pounds back with you. Been bidding well. 570. 575 from anyone else? Oh, it's 575. Thank you. 575. 580. 580. 585. 585. Sorry.
That's a quick bid as well.
580,000 pounds is back with you. 580. 585. Otherwise, we're selling for the first time at 580. No, we're not. 585. 585. 590. 590 bid. Thank you. 595. 595.
I think it's important to hear, like, an auctioneer saying this is selling, or this means it went over the reserve price, which obviously in this situation wouldn't be more than 495. But that kind of thing, it's in the room and it's selling. It means this is gonna go, and this puts people like, someone else might get this if they don't bid.
It's bid 605,000 pounds with you for the second time.
There's a couple
more bid. Come on, don't let me down.
607.
Oof.
2,000 pounds.
Into twos.
From two there.
There's a couple of bids at twos here. Come on.
With you, been bidding well. 605 for the first time. Going 605,000 pounds for the second time. Third and final.
607.
605,000 pounds.
Sold 6.
Oh,
come on.
Told you how he wedged himself in there between me and you, Piotr.
Jay's strategy is a solid one. Okay, so now because you won, you have to guess first the next one.
All right, okay. I
So
came
Got
here
on
to
the wrong
win.
line there. This wasn't
Come
that
on.
number 7.
it was number 7. I'm so sorry, guys.
God, oh, come
You're
on.
talking too much.
Oh, thank God Samantha's here. Seriously.
Brilliant. And we also got a comment on the live
Oh,
chat from
Leicester.
EIG Property Auctions about lot number 4, and they're saying that 354 Dunsford Road, a leasehold flat sold for 690 in 2022. So you can see the value of that lot number 4. Yeah, so this was 354 was just a bit few doors down.
Well, it's great to
Right.
have the good folks at EIG online with us. We'll be
Indeed.
using their website quite a lot today. So
Right, 35 Personal Street in Humberston Road.
I think there's
A5,
no
which is
change.
I think it went
share
up.
price yet. I don't think trading started yet, maybe. No. But it's yeah, that's one of the ways of investing in property as well. A lot of people actually invest in either house builders or PLCs like Mount View. It's a bit of an indirect way of investing in property and maybe a bit slower, but those share prices do go up. Brilliant. What's next, guys?
Where we go? Popular lot, this one needs to get involved.
Leicester already went double, like almost double the guide price.
40, 140 is running away with itself.
There we
No
go.
required. 150. Coming to mine in a minute, I promise. 150.
This has got trader written all over
down,
it.
is it? 150.
yeah.
155.
Let's look quickly on the legal park and see what's in
160?
there.
155,000.
Let's see if we can uncover.
Oh, it's Stephen Morris. It might not be a trader.
160. Telephone. Welcome.
The legal park is
That's a trader. Look,
Yeah.
£160,000.
there's 4 documents. That's a trader.
We go again, slowing down.
Riverside Group.
Oh, is that a HA actually?
5, another 5.
It looks like it's a housing association indeed.
Riverside is a housing association.
Yeah.
170.
Did they make a note that it's housing association?
With the telephone,
No
170.
note.
They normally do. Border of a housing association.
I can't believe it. 165,000
Tell you what,
pounds for
PR.
the first time. It's bid 165,000 pounds for the second
Let me see if
time.
That's
anyone's
it.
transacted on this recently that we don't know
I
about.
choose.
Hold on.
Dropping the increments to 2. Have another go at 2, make it 167. 167 on the telephone. Back in 167, 169. You've got to go again, isn't it, bidder? 169 or anyone else? 169, thank you. 169, 171. 171 back in. 171. Telephone, 173. 173 is bid. 175. 75, can't quite let this go. Don't blame me. £173,000 of committee. 175, make it. Well, we're selling at £173,000 for the first.
Did he say you can't let this go?
£173,000 for the second time.
No, I think
Yeah.
he said to the bidder, you can't let this
right.
go.
Third.
Strong bidding.
That looks like a genuine HA sale.
Again, 177, 175 has it,
Okay.
177.
Why can I just ask, why would they
Go
put
for
a
it again,
guide so low?
£175,000 with you for the
When it's
first.
clearly
175,000
worth a lot more than that.
177.
Just need to get rid.
179.
Don't need it on their books.
177.
Yeah,
back with you
Yeah,
first time.
for a
It's just
housing
basically to
association.
get interest because people think, oh, that's cheap.
Selling.
No,
Well,
for a housing
have
association.
a look at the sold prices on this road. I mean, nothing sold for more than 133.
To be fair though, that is since 2016.
Three, you
you know,
lose £2,000
and that's
on
This is-
Leicester's had a massive uplift in that since then. But
181 for the second time.
if you look at what's available within a quarter of a mile, you do get 2 beds, 3 beds around 250 to 300. So
Oh, wow.
I'd actually say it's not too bad of a sale price still. I actually think that's still fine, but I do think it's gone past trading value. That's an investor / developer that's now bought that. That's that territory. Could even be owner occupied, by the way. Leicester's got a very popular, like everyone wants to live next to each other. You've got lots of different communities, and people within certain communities want to live close to each other, family and all the rest of it, you know, uncles, aunts, etc. So yeah, I also think that could be attracting those kinds of people as well.
Okay, brilliant. Well, we got I got
Hitcham.
I got a WhatsApp message from Stephen Morris confirming that this was Housing Associate.
Yeah.
Yay!
If guys at Savills are watching, hello guys.
It was borderline trader for a second there. He got us on us on the edge of our seat. But yeah, confirmed.
Amazing. Okay. So lot number 9 was withdrawn, and this if lot gets withdrawn, it could be for a variety of different reasons. This one's boarded up, so maybe it was being sold by some sort of receivers.
Maybe the legal pack wasn't uploaded to PR.
Let's see.
Yeah.
Documents.
Oh, probate. So probate.
£185,000 we have, make it 190.
Was being sold by Nueva Realty.
195.
So it was either probate or a trade of a probate property.
195. 195.
Can we research
It could
what
be.
realty is? Out of interest, Piotr.
205.
Research.
Could be a trade of a probate.
£205,000 is bid 210. 210 is bid.
See what-
£210,000. 215.
For this
Got an
bar,
Instagram page.
210 has it at the moment. 210,000.
it's hard to say exactly. Buying and selling of
They're traders.
real estate. So clearly trader.
Yeah, that's the SIC code.
So it was families and they got withdrawn. But if this was a trader selling, it might still be available. But it might could have been withdrawn for a variety of different reasons. But what's live right now? Woodstock.
£220,000 is with you. 220 for the first time.
Me
Need to
too.
put you £220,000 for the second time. 225, 230, 230, 235, 235, still there on the phone. So the internet bid at the moment, £230,000. Any more here? 230 for the first.
So we actually got a question from Catherine on the live chat. Can you talk a bit about auction order? What's the logic of placing properties at the top, middle, and end?
I don't think it makes too much. It's not. It's more about different auctioneers have their own lots, and then different auctioneers have their own places in lot numbering and catalogs and stuff like that. So I think it's more about the relationship you've got with your auctioneer specialist, whatever you want to call it, and then where they're at in terms of the lot. Because obviously you're talking about Savills here, which is a pretty big catalogue. So I think it's more a case of where they put it within everyone's basic. Every auctioneer has their own lots in there.
Yeah, different auctioneers structure their catalogs in different ways. So one of that first lot is the first 10 lots are really should be surefire sellers, things that are just going to get the motivation for the auction going. Then you're going to have vendors that have, when I worked for Auction House London, there were some vendors that just had lucky numbers. And then obviously back in the day when you had an auction catalogue, some vendors wanted to be the first lot on the top right-hand side of the page. So when you turn the first page, your eyes normally go here instead of to the left. And so everyone has their own psychology for it. But we met up, or not even say we met up, we had Chris Coleman-Smith, who used to be the head of Savills Auction, come to one of our boardroom events a little while ago. And he was telling us, obviously pre-COVID, how they would piece the catalogue together. And it was a bit of a fine art. Some auctioneers that you see, they will have certain properties in certain regions because they want somebody, if they miss out, to still be online or still be in the room to be able to bid on a property that's really close by. So it just depends on what logic they follow. But there's no right or wrong. You kind of, to a certain extent, you want the cadence to be right. You want everything to be flowing. And sometimes, having a property that's in Surrey and then the next property being in Humberside and then the next property being in Kent and all that kind of stuff, it's not as important as you think it might be.
And I think especially right now in the online times, this is very much a matter of people find properties mostly on the Rightmove and also scrolling through the catalogs. I think the more important thing is the right pricing, because if you have the wrong pricing, even if it's lot number 1, sometimes they go unsold because they might not be priced correctly. So I think the position in the catalog isn't as important these days. And I think it's a matter of pricing and presenting the property well. It could be the last lot in the catalog. We once had a property which was a late lot, last one in the catalog, and was an Elfan and Castle, big property, 750,000, and it sold fairly well. And I think it's all a matter of price and a proper kind of presentation. I think those are the key things. I think the position in the catalog is like a very low, much lower down the priority list of what we're focusing on.
And in reality, you know, it is a bit of a dark art, because when you go to print, or when you order the lots ready for what would now be print or just listing it online, you're going in with a certain expectation of this is really cheap, this will be really popular. So sometimes you factor your entire catalogue around, you know, placing at certain increments lots that you think are going to do really very well. Then you launch the catalogue, you get your first week of marketing, no one's been to a viewing, no one's downloaded the legal pack, and then you're trying to figure out what's gone wrong. And you know, the blunt tool that auctioneers have is the price is wrong, let's get a price drop. And you kind of want to do that as early on as possible. But yeah, it's getting it right is really important, and every auctioneer will have their own real way of structuring that out. So that's a really good question, Catherine.
Yeah,
we've got some really good comments from EIG as well.
On another note as well, something that obviously Samantha touched up on is why do people sell things so cheap, especially things like housing associations. So I've seen a couple of things recently, which was it blew me away. One of them was a vendor who put a house up for a £1 guide price. So this was in an area where other houses were selling in good condition for 250,000 on the market. They put their house up for a £1 guide because they just needed to get rid of it at any cost. The interesting thing was they weren't taking any pre-auction bids, which probably doesn't surprise anyone. So they let it run to the room, and it was a 20-day auction, and within 5 minutes of it going live, it's already at £105,000, Samantha. 3 bids, 105,000 already, right? So God knows what that's going to end up going for more than what they would have got if they priced it well. And then on the flip side to that, I saw someone that put up a house close to me, £130,000 guide price, which was very cheap. It had a really big side plot to it as well. And I thought, you know, again, it was a vendor. They didn't need loads of money from it, and all they had to do was say it has to go to the room, and it ended up going for 209,000. It was never worth 209,000 done up. So I think the point here is, if you don't need to make a certain amount from your property, you can afford for it to go, then that's when it finds its value, and it will always find its value. So yeah, I think that most housing associations have become better than property traders recently, I'd say, getting the best price.
The real thing with these housing associations, looking at it from a different point of view, is the cost of a housing association to go and change a light bulb is probably £300, right? You know, they've mass bulk buy these light bulbs. They then have to get someone that goes out and changes the light bulb and comes. It's expensive, and you know the PRS, you know, and housing associations have a real kind of magnifying glass over how they perform. You know, with black mold and all these other things going on. So you see a lot of housing association stock come onto the auction where it is what they would consider not worth fixing up, right? Because the cost of them fixing it up isn't worth it. But for an investor who is operating on their own, can get in different contractors, keep the price down. You know, it costs them £2.50 to change a light bulb instead of £300. All of a sudden, it's easier for other people to make margins as opposed to the housing associations.
Yeah, and it's also housing associations, they approach things from like a risk valuation perspective, and those risk valuation will take into account the condition of the property, how much it would cost to refurbish it, but in a very like broken down way. So it's a proper actually workout on like what everything is going to cost, and they arrive at the price that they think, or the risk survey thinks this property should be could potentially sell for. and then they just listed with that, and then they leave it to the market to determine what the actual price of the property is, which is, I think, the best way to approach things from.
Yeah, if you're a seller at auction, you can learn a lot from how housing associations structure their auction sales, because they understand exactly how this works. It's not a case of putting the property in at an artificially low price. It's about motivating the market around the asset. And they're really very good at doing that. They keep it very simple. They keep it very clean. They don't front load loads of fees. They don't do anything, untoward that puts people off. They make it very easy. And the results speak for themselves. And this isn't just a Savills conversation. Housing associations sell through all of the major auctioneers, and almost all of them have that same approach to their transactions. And it's what makes the lots so attractive, but makes them so successful. If we had more sellers like that, it's a lot leaving things to fate and to trust the process, really. But yeah.
And guys, for those of you who are watching, we want to say we're very grateful for you tuning in, and we also have a couple of free gifts for you, and especially for the first 50 people who request that gift. There's a link in the description of this video, and you guys can get a free version of our best-selling book, Before the Hammer Falls, on Audible. We're gonna give away 50 of those books to the first 50 people who put their email address and the details in. And also you will get 25% of our upcoming auction course, which is called Don't Get Fucked at Auction, basically. And this is going to be coming in the next month or so, and you can get your name on the waiting list for this course. So a link in the description. Well, let's go back
what's truly surprising, Piotr, what's truly surprising about this is that's the first time we've told people that the audiobook is available. That's kind of like, we haven't said this to anybody before. So that's you guys are hearing it here first.
Brilliant. And welcome to Guy Charison. Just join us, put a comment in. Morning all from all of us at Network Auctions. You never know what lots you're going to see as an auctioneer. In our March auction, we're going to be selling a former nudist colony. There we go. I think Oliver Adams will be all for it.
Yeah, it's not the first nudist colony Oliver's had. But this is it. That's the beauty of auctions. You'll be finding properties that are very difficult to value or are completely unique. There is many different ways to handle them. And yeah, a nudist colony. Is it lot number 69, Guy? You'll have to put a link into the in the description. Have to put a link in the chat. There's a lady.
Is he allowed to say that?
No. The funniest thing, Samantha, is that there's a lady was in our auction buyers club. We've sold so many things for her. Her insistence that her property is lot number 69 when she sells, pretty much every time. When she said it has to be lot number 6, like I said, some vendors, they have lucky numbers or just think she has a really good sense of humor. Yeah.
Right.
The whole point is we want Samantha to come back, not to
yes, of course.
Amazing. And is this something that could potentially be financed, Samantha? Or would you guys say absolutely no to nudist colony?
What, to nudist colony? I suppose the question is, how do we exit? It's like,
It's a good question, yeah.
Never say never. We'll consider it. We'll just try and weigh up what the risks are, and
Who would you send down there, Samantha, to value it? Who do you think would actually go in there and get their kit off to value it? Who would you
to go value that?
Who would it be? Scott? You have to get Scott in there.
Oh gosh, stop it.
This going downhill.
Maybe he'd be up for that. I don't know.
How about we go back to predicting the auction prices?
Yeah. Okay, we've got a bit of time. Maybe we can do this one in Edgbaston. We haven't been in
nice.
Birmingham yet. Leasehold, 1-bedroom, first floor flat in a fairly attractive looking block. well
Now,
maintained.
bearing in mind the guide price, is that housing association by any chance? Because
Let's,
Edgbaston is a good area, isn't it? And I would expect this to be quite expensive.
Edgbaston is great. The only problem is it's a 1-bed flat. I was excited until I saw a 1-bed flat, but yeah.
Yeah, it may
let's see.
just be a short lease, which I don't think it would be, because it's it looks quite modern. Oh, there's two in the same
actually
block.
a couple of them.
Yeah,
Might
And
be an
it's,
issue with the block itself.
56 square meters. Leasehold, 128 years left on the lease. Decent size. Who's the seller? Let's see.
yeah. What's not to like?
AH Field Holdings, which probably is a local landlord, maybe local company. Pretty decent legal park. Probably it's got all the management information, all the fire assessments.
It's being handled by Gary Murphy, so the expectation would be that it would be quite a thorough pack.
Okay, so we look at some sold prices in this block.
Yes.
Let's see, block number 70. Property prices. Apartment 2, 131, 166, 127. All fairly recent. We don't know the actual layout and sizes of those apartments, but these are the prices. And what are the pictures like? Okay, the other photo was much better. Okay, fairly decent. Electric heating.
Yeah,
Good
but clean
condition.
and tidy. Clean and tidy.
Ready to move in. I'm
and
saying
a balcony.
120.
Oh, what's not
I'm
to
saying
like?
120.
I'm saying 137.
I'm going to say 134.
Oh.
Samantha got hang of the strategy.
Oh, I don't know about that. It still seems like a bit of a, I don't know. It's like gambling, isn't it? And I'm not a gambler. And it's like,
Safe, no
remember when I was
pressure.
looking at up here in Derry, I was following the
One.
auctions, and they're all going way over what the figures I were getting to. I'm thinking, am I missing something here? It's like, what?
Okay, let's see. Okay, the Murphy's on the rostrum. Let's get this.
It's one of his lots as well, the Edgbaston one.
Yeah.
£135,000 now. 137.5 I have. 140. 140 now, thank you. 42.5.
Bromley's a popular area.
40 plus 16, 42.5
London
now.
borders.
45 now, 47.5, please.
I think this is a really good touch from Savills that the person handling the lot is also offering this as an auctioneer. It kind of keeps the trust between the seller and the auctioneers.
Gary Murphy's a bit of a legend in the game. Was originally all stops for God knows how many years. Moved over to Savills, part of their big kind of. They've expanded the team massively because they almost doubled the number of auctions they're running in a year.
52.5. 55.
Okay, this is a flat in Bromley, which actually is very well priced as well. It's a 1-bedroom, 2nd floor flat in Bromley. I thought this one looks pretty well. But it's going to do much better than this.
Demonstrate final warning. Third and final time at 152,000.
Kind of okay condition. Bit of paint, bit of carpet, new kitchen.
You know, I tend to take 1,000. What do you think?
Yeah, the only thing is,
1,000.
That said, just
152.5 is the bid.
struggling compared to houses at the minute.
152.5. Try to help you. No, all right, it's going to go then. 152.5 for the first. 152.5 for the second. The final time, I think we're there for 16 and 152. All done. 16 probably.
Sold 152 for 1-bedroom flat. And was that even short lease or something?
I'm fairly confident.
This was a short lease, yes. It was 9 years.
So 1 bedroom.
Okay. In Edgbaston.
Vacant.
Let's see.
Block, start me at £80,000. We're going ones. £80,000. 17, 80.
So you'll find
£80,000.
he's one of the only auctioneers at Savills that starts the bidding below the guide price, and that's very much how Allsops used to run their in-room auctions. They would always start the opening bid would be below guide to bring people in, to create kind of competition. He's kept the same habit, but it's one of the small things that you notice. You know what you're looking for.
88.
Very slow bidding.
88 now. And 89. 90.
Come on, Gary. This is selling with a 1 in front of it.
90.
A 1 and a 3. Don't let me down.
17, then 89,000.
I wonder where this goes really cheap. But I think I went for the lower end of the 120 on purpose here.
Surely it's not going to go that sort of price.
Second time, 90.
It could.
No.
Third and final time at 90.
Still time to bid for the next one, Samantha.
Seems ridiculously cheap.
Sold.
90k.
Win by default. That's good.
Well, let's see what this one is. This one is also one bedroom.
The only thing I was going to say with these ones is there's some on the market at 150 being reduced and struggling as a one bed, and it's I think it said cash buyers only somewhere. I might be mistaken, but that's what I saw. So flats around there just do struggle. These kind of like more modern purpose-built ones.
And also it shows that it's possible sometimes to buy a property at the guide price. And I think it's important to be in the game and register to bid and then see what's going to happen.
It's the activity that gives you the opportunity, right?
Yes. It's just going to say the same price.
I presume this will be at the same price then.
You'll be surprised. It isn't always.
Would you typically find maybe there'd be same buyer?
Thank you. 89 I have now. 90.
Not necessarily. Could be someone that just wants this one specifically.
89,000 I have 90p.
I think there's a difference between this one and the other one in terms of the size.
The last one sold for 90.
This one was 56 square meters.
Not 18.
And this one is 151.
Second time.
Oh, that's a bit bigger, isn't it?
£89,000. We're done. Not right there for that one.
This one didn't sell.
Wow.
Available. You know.
But yeah, it could be
Really
the size.
surprised me that with Edgbaston.
Oh, Rushton. It's down
There
the road
in your
from me.
back garden.
In my back garden. Well, I'm currently in my back garden, but this is really in my back garden.
So what do you think, being an expert in the area?
Yeah. Bungalows are actually quite popular in the area. I mean, flats where I am, just you know, you could buy a 1-2 bedroom flat for like 100 grand, but bungalows tend to do quite well.
Yeah, do you find around there people doing them for dormers, extensions, putting on? Because that's a lot of the bungalow ones we get. The fund is people want to put either under PD or they're going full planning for a larger extension.
Yeah, I think, you know, if you've got the right pitch, and you can see this one here already has a window and has the pitch. Yeah, I mean, an easy way to add value here would be to do, you know, dormer, a one-sided dormer.
Yeah.
But, I mean, they're popular here because not that there's a massive retirement zone here, but actually, it's more of an aging population than there is a growing population in Rushton specifically. I don't know if that's the whole of Northamptonshire. But this is a quiet little road to do quite well.
191 I'll take. I will take
So this
It's definitely selling. Yeah, it's
Listed
definitely
on.
selling.
Say going for the first.
So what do you guys think of the results so far? They've been doing fairly well with the first 20 lots.
I
Yeah,
think
they've
it's
done well.
it's not been the market dependent. I think it's just been property dependent. I think everything's sort of sold where it should have done. There's a few things that sold cheaper, but yeah, I think overall they've done well, personally.
So far, so good. So we're saying a lot for our client, which is lot number 37. This one's gonna be, actually it's not 37. Which one is it today? Hope it's not 34.
Fast-build.
Yes,
34, there
very
it is.
close.
Two story.
We have high expectations. If you guys are bidding, you should let yourself click that mouse a lot. What's next? Isleworth.
Like 325. Say 320.
Good location.
This is gonna do extremely well.
Yeah.
320 may I say?
I would say, you know, apart from the Birmingham property that went unsold at 89, I think the other properties he's auctioned so far have sold
320.
very close to reserve. It's my kind of gut feeling.
What's this property? This good joint agents
330.
and
Should we go to 2.5?
decent looking blank canvas with an
Going
outfit.
slowly. 327.5. I say.
It's a bit late to put our
330.
predictions.
27.5 I have. 330.
Well, let's see
Thinking
perhaps
about
what EAG says about
Three
some
minutes.
prices on this one. Then say it's number at
330,000 pounds then.
20
Take 1,000.
and property prices.
Very well.
Look at this, number 9 sold for 147. What was that?
That's a
What's
flat.
that all about?
Maybe it's a short lease flat.
Looks like it's a freehold.
No, type flat, 10-year leasehold.
Oh yes, you're right.
7,000.
Yes, and type terrace probably. So it was one sold 350 in 2019. Next door.
3. 330.
This looks extremely cheap for house in London.
332,000. Last time. 332 for the second time.
Let's
Third time. Hasselworth, 332,000.
Needs a refurb as well, but I think it should sell well.
Okay.
look at this. Went unsold.
6 of
You guys think this is potential deal? Let's look at property data. What we've got here. Outlay number 5. It's got
Surrounded by lots of greenery.
work. All vacant.
There's one sold subject to contract at 455.
Same cottage style.
Is it next door?
Guide. Say 380. Say start 380.
Sorry, just
380.
this is blue door and this one is
Thank you. 380.
not blue door. This is number 2. It's the part of the same terrace. And looks like this one is
385, 390.
done.
95. 400.
It's got
395. 400.
outbuilding.
Now 105.
So what do you guys think about this one?
405
Cheap,
I have.
not cheap?
Cheap. Guy Charison said that's kind of flat money in our worth that went unsold for.
God, it's another one.
15.
It's 2-bed terrace as well, 450. So I'm surprised that end user didn't pick that up because that looks like a 30k refurb, and you can potentially end up with a 450k house. And you go to refinance, potentially might end up not having much money left in your own house type of thing.
425,000 I bid for 30 minutes.
So yeah, we've got a potential for post-auction deal. What do you guys think the reserve would be on this one? 350?
The rooms as well.
Yeah.
Probably, yeah.
Yeah.
Looks good though.
Let's also look who is selling this.
Thank you. What's that?
Special conditions, SB law. And possibly that was on behalf of someone.
Yeah.
14. It's going up a bit. I'll tell you what, I'll take 2.5. Ready?
What else is in the legal
437.
book?
Would that help you?
Title.
Kensington.
Yeah, so it looks like this property was being sold on behalf of the sellers by the solicitors. So there's some sort of story behind it. But it looks cheap.
435.
Looks cheap. Someone wants to do a deal. Potentially, there's money in this one.
430.
And if you don't know the rules are simple. The first hour after the property's gone unsold is when you need to strike. Make your offer, send your funds in, get the deal done. Try not to give anyone too much time to think. Just make sure you can transact.
Brilliant. So let's go to guessing.
23.
23. Muswell Hill.
East
Bexhill on Sea.
Attached house here. Needs a bit of work.
Try to guess this one. Let me just close up my tabs because that's a little bit too much. Boom, 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 boom. Boom. Okay, so Bexhill on Sea. Couple of more lots. Okay, what do you guys think of this one? A bungalow, clearly in need of refurb. Guided at 265.
This is the perfect kind of thing to trade, isn't it?
Fairly decent plot.
Yeah, perfect.
It looks brilliant. It looks like a proper probate type property. Beautiful. The only thing I'd say with this is, I'd be buying that, clearing it all fully, and then taking photos again and marketing it much better in terms of
blank canvas it. Yeah.
But also it's a bit of a difficult one. That used to work quite well, but I also find recently that people kind of like the probate look, if that makes sense, because it kind of makes it look a lot more genuine. So hard to call, but that's what I'll be doing personally. But yeah, I think it looks good. I think someone will have a field day selling a lot of that stuff on eBay as well. A lot of stuff there, or car boot, whatever. But there's going to be a big clearance job there for sure.
It's number 89. And things sell for well in the 500s on this road. But there are also very different types of properties on this road.
Yeah. I was going to say about 340 to 350 is probably about right for something like this, in my opinion.
Brilliant. 340, 350. So 340 or 350? So
340, 360, 310, somewhere around there.
I think you said 340 first.
Yeah, 340. I'll go with 340.
I'll go 375.
Oh,
Someone
I was going to go 370. I know the areas though, so I don't know what the end values are like, but
I'm going to go.
It looks as if it'd be very popular for a developer or somebody. I know obviously you'd put there's traders as well, but yeah.
357 500.
Oh my god.
The wedge is back.
Okay, brilliant. Well, this is starting now, so let's listen in.
Because I see Gary Murphy, instead of going down in twos, he goes down in 2.5s. So there's a chance. There's a chance.
Potential to extend there.
Is that insider knowledge?
No, the more you watch, the more you see. Yeah. Yeah.
It's got to offer. It's vacant, ladies and gentlemen. Bexhill. See, guiding at 265. Should we start there? 265. See if you feel comfortable in £5,000. 265 makes it a start. There it is straight.
Guy Charlison's also put his comments 340, 350, or 310, or somewhere around there. Actually, no, he just laughed
He was
at your
he was
comments.
he's just copying Saif. It was basically him saying that was a brilliant comment.
75, thank you. And 280. 75, I have 280. 280 now, thank you. 280,000. 85. I'm bid. 285. 290. You'll get 2.5 at this level if you like. 287.5. Great.
Hold it, Jay.
35 I have. I'll take 2.5. We'll have to think about it. I see you hovering there. 285 I'm bid. 275.
I'm not confident now. I think we've gone down in 2.5 too quick.
I'm happy with 340, man. Thank you.
I think we're all gonna be wrong on this one. Oh wait, no, we're gonna get to 3.
There's no wrong, Jay. They're just the closest.
Yeah.
295. 97.5.
Said you're gonna get a lot of phone calls after this thing.
Can you value this for me?
300,000 I have. Let's say 2.5, please. Good.
Come on, Gary.
Yeah, that's on the phone, I think. 302.5. 305 now. Lively. 305. 307.5.
Come on, just another 50 grand.
307.5 with the phone bidder.
Do you think he dropped to 2.5 too quick?
Right, 310. 312.5, Catherine.
I'm only to, if I wanted it to sell for the 350 odd, I think it's gone too soon. But
what I mean is there's too many bids at 2.5. It would have got enough momentum at 5s, no?
Potentially, but he's going to be he's going to see how many people are online. He can see who's like moving their cursor, who's getting ready to bid. So he could just be trying to motivate the room by reducing the increment. So we won't be seeing anywhere near as half as what he's seeing right now. And you have to assume he's got best judgment. Yeah, he's just using his best judgment. He's been doing it long enough.
On a side note, guys, don't you think that Guy Marley is a twin brother of Seth Godin? You guys know Seth Godin.
You be there, underbidding?
Okay, yeah. Looks a bit like,
It must be the glasses.
Yeah, the whole look. And also the movement and everything else. And the brains with marketing.
330 on bid. 2.5.
Come on, Gary.
Getting there. Safe.
Oh, he's striking the pose. Come on.
331. Against you on the phone. 330 I have on.
We're on the edge of our seats here. Come on. Oh no, we're down in the ones.
Can't value this closely, can you? Bexhill. Potential. 331. First time at 331. Second time at 331. 32, 33, 34. Keep the pace going. 20 thousands.
I have to say, I do like how he gets kind of animated when he's doing the auction. I'm a fan.
On the phone at 334. First time at 334. Second time at 334. On the phone.
Go down in halves, Gary. Come on.
The Excel at 334. With the phone better. I'm in thousands. Bid if you want. Don't delay. About 334,000 pounds. It's about to come down unless you bid. Ready, Greg?
There we go. Look at this. This is incredible. Safe.
Another one in the bag, eh? I might as well just leave now. I've got another appointment I'm going to go to now.
Exeter here, not 35, 58 Priory Road, Exeter. Say, 3-bedroom terrace house. Need of modernisation. Front and rear car. Think of all those.
So the next one is Priory Road, Exeter, Devon. That's Olivia's territory.
Yeah, I was about to say Priory Road. We sold one in Priory Road in North London. So not the same location.
190,000 Exeter.
What's the type of stock
Exeter.
that you tend to buy, or you tend to see most in terms of like dealing with finance, Samantha? What kind of stuff people come to you with?
There's a lot of at the moment. We still have a lot of HMO conversion. Everybody trying to squeeze as much out of a property as they can. Yeah, it's a lot of HMO stuff. But they tend to, well, in my opinion, a lot of it they're paying it at the right price or even a bit more because they're trying to work off commercial values at the end rather than vacant possession. That's always a little bit of it can be difficult when it comes to valuation. A lot of commercial stuff we're seeing and doing commercial conversions, like on the uppers to resi. Starting to see more ground up at the moment as well, land and planning. Yeah, bungalows, I'll say, have been popular in some areas, but as I say, like to add value under PD or planning.
207.5 then. We'll take 1,000.
Brilliant. Well, yeah, this is.
9.
Do you buy in the southwest, Saif? The kind of stock you'd be looking at?
Yeah, so I'll be buying a few more bits down the southwest at the minute. The problem with the southwest is there's a massive spread between open market and auction value. I mean, sometimes I've seen 50% spread, 40-50% spread. So you need bigger discounts, in my opinion anyway, you need bigger discounts down there if you're going to be trading. But yeah, absolutely. I bought a few bits recently. Some of them at the minute with Olivia as well.
Brilliant. Well, that one is still available.
One bed first floor.
What do you think this one could be worth? Let's just put,
I mean, Exeter is normally quite popular, to be honest with you. Maybe the guide price was slightly higher than what it should have been to try and attract people.
I think there was a question earlier on. What are the pros and cons of the bigger auction houses like Savills versus some smaller local ones? And the answer is competency. There are certain areas, like the Southwest, Devon, Cornwall, that kind of realm where London auctioneers don't really get the values right. So you probably do need a local auctioneer. And that's not the only example. There are quite a few, like nationally. And then there are some London auctioneers that do really very well in certain areas in the sticks in London and Greater London and some of the other kind of big metropolitan cities like Liverpool, Leeds, Manchester, Birmingham, that kind of thing.
I'll give you the biggest thing for me, Jay, is just the locality, the boots on the ground. You don't get that. So we had a recent thing, and shout out to Olivia, to be fair, for this, where she said there was a massive storm. Can't remember what happened. The property wasn't secure anymore. And she was getting someone out to board it, secure it, etc. And you just won't, if that was any other sort of London-based national auctioneer, you won't know about it until it's exchanged, or you won't even know about it maybe at all, and it could have put people off or could have caused more problems because it had squatters in it, etc. So I think that boots on the ground sometimes makes a big difference, in all honesty.
And I think your comment, Saif, about the property prices between auction and open market are very different, is very valid here as well. There was house sold literally 4 doors down at 362, and this one struggled to sell at 225, and it didn't look that extremely bad. It looked like a 40k, 50k refurb, so still potentially quite a lot of money in it. Do you guys think?
Yeah, agreed. But I think if that was guided at 150, that could have made 220 to 230 maybe, but guided at 205, it's just a bit too high to make that kind of figure.
Cool. Well, another potential deal, if someone's looking in Exeter, I think Savills are open to doing deals on this one. And the seller on this one was, what do you guys think? Was that a private seller? West Ella Finance. So potentially,
A repo, maybe.
are you familiar with West Ella Finance Limited? Samantha?
No, no.
Never heard. Let's see who they are, what they do. West Ella Group, family-run private residential property trading and development business. So it looks like traders that have a finance name.
Yeah.
Okay, and they've been around since 1978. So definitely a deal to be done there. Guys, I think this one is up for guessing. High Street Bench.
Seems like a
Oh.
similar one that you guys did, although you did the whole freehold, didn't you? Rather than just a leasehold. But did you do a
Yes.
similar kind of mixed use in Penge?
Yeah, well, I think with this one, what's important to kind of look at is the selling history, because I think this one's been in the auction about 4 times, I believe. Let's see.
Yeah, the commercial looks familiar.
Let's look at the history.
Hey, there it is.
This. It was offered 3 times, 4 times actually. It was once in I am sold. Potentially it could be a trade. Maybe someone picked it up, or but look at this. The history was the reserve was 145 in November 24. Now it's guided 115. So potentially reserve would be around 125, 130 maybe. And it's a slightly short lease. And it's at the back of a commercial property, which is not ideal for mortgages, right? That could be quite a difficult exit, Samantha, isn't it?
Yeah, well, potentially it depends on the usage. So usually anything that's sort of like very noisy, very smelly, you know, sort of restaurants, takeaways, pubs, bars, that type of thing can sometimes be an issue.
This looks like a smelly
A cafe.
takeaway.
Takeaway, yeah, burgers and such.
So this is a ground floor flat. Don't have much on it, but we have some pictures.
Oh, wow.
Lovely.
The property, well, it's a bit smelly.
Yeah, bit of mold there.
It's got a garden. There's an extractor fan over here.
Yeah.
So what do you guys think? Will it sell? Will it not sell?
I think it will sell. I definitely think it will sell. I just don't think it will make mega money.
I don't think it'll sell.
I also think it will go unsold. It's a difficult one, and I think it's only for cash buyers. To keep it maybe as a rental. It would make a good rental.
I still think you could, it's massive yield for there, isn't there? That's the thing. It's still going to be good yield.
I think it could rent, like once you do the refurb, that would be about 1,400 per month, 1,500 per month.
For London though.
Yeah, so it'll be 18k per annum for a 2-bedroom flat, and a refurb cost is what, 50k?
Probably, yeah, around about that. I mean, that's probably toppy because it is a flat as well. It's not necessarily a massive house, but it's still decent size, isn't it? So, yeah,
and it's got a garden.
40 is about right.
Slightly awkward layout, and it's 47 square meters, but you do well. Let's see. It's almost selling.
Well, it's more than 10% over guide, so it has to sell.
Go to the 130 Penge. Anyone now? 32.
And we've got a couple of comments from Irfan. First one is, out of interest, which auctioneers would you say are best to buy from and which to sell with?
Let's put you 131,000 over here.
There's no real metric for that. Some auctioneers do better with certain types of stock in certain areas, more so than others. Some auctioneers market certain types of properties better than others. Yeah, it's kind of a case by case. So we help a lot of people sell at auction using, we've got a brand called Hammered, and Hammered helps people sell their properties at auction by picking
133 then for
the
lot
best
28.
auctioneer for that asset.
First time.
If only it was that easy to figure out which auctioneer is the best to buy from,
Second time.
then it wouldn't be
Yeah.
the case. So, yeah, I genuinely think I get this question so many times. I think the reality is you just got to dig deep and just, it's all about volume. You need to just registering to bid on stuff, reading legal packs, being in the game, being available. That's the main thing, to be honest with you.
And Irfan follows up. He was looking at lot number 25 in Exeter. He was hoping it wouldn't sell, and he thought the guide was too high. So Irfan, get on the phone, give them a call, and see if a deal can be done. Don't tell us about it. Get the deal.
Somebody say 140. Important. You did 140. I have.
Yeah, this is the time to strike, Irfan. And Michael is saying that exit for this one and Pence would be specialist lender. So Michael Allison from Roma Finance, and exit will be specialist lender buy to let as opposed to high street buy to let lenders. And this is definitely said. And look at this, like previously it was a verbal 145, it didn't sell. Now it's pretty much getting to that amount because the guide price was so much lower. And I think it attracted a lot of people.
144.
That's why we always encourage people to put the property with as low price as possible, because that just brings bidders that wouldn't consider bidding if the price was too high, if the guide price was too high. And the more bidder you bring, the more it's possible to actually get a really good price. This is a perfect example. In November, whoever is bidding right now could have bought it for 145. Now they're paying 150, 160.
2, give me 3.
Are they just basically playing on people's psychology, sort of like because it's low, get people in, and then they get carried away with the bidding, and it just pushes it up? Is that essentially what they're doing?
There's a lot of psychology behind it, but you know there are a lot of vendors that are very price sensitive. When someone's selling something at auction, you're normally looking for one of the 4 Ds: death, debt, divorce, and distress. You know? And you need a motivator to get the vendor to a price point where it's going to create a competitive bidding environment. So sometimes when you see these properties reoffered and reoffered and reoffered, the price is coming down marginally each time, and it's creating a little bit of a marketplace. When they finally start to realize, actually, if I go as close to the bone as possible, this is a painful experience for me. The reality is a vendor has to take on a lot of pain in order to share the pain with the buyer, right? Buying a property at auction is painful because you go straight into an exchange of contracts and you've got 28 days to complete. It's not ideal. And you kind of have to share that between both parties. So as much as it's as much as there's a psychology behind it, there is also a motivation, activity, opportunity kind of thing that's going on there as well that can't be ignored.
So guys, that one sold. I was saying they wouldn't sell. I'm getting nothing right today. I quit.
Yeah, it's terrible. You're having a terrible
I need to
day.
retire.
So what sort of end value would that have once it was done up?
So what did you say, Samantha?
What sort of end value would that have done up?
It's a good question. I think it will be about, I don't know, 225, 250 maximum. It's still a fairly small flat, only 50 square meters. And it's at the back of the shop, so maybe 225.
210.
It would have been valued primarily on the yield that you would get. There wouldn't really be any real other value to it. Couple of comments on here. Guy Charrison, price it low and watch it go. So that's clearly a mantra. Christina has asked, is there a way to know whether the seller would be open to a pre-auction offer, or is it the case of asking? It's always the case of asking. You don't know if you don't ask, and you don't get if you don't ask, so ask away. Big question, is EIG worth subscribing to? Let's start off by saying that no one here today is being sponsored by EIG. No one's getting a kickback or any fees from EIG, but you cannot take auctions seriously. You cannot be an auction buyer without Essential Information Group. It's in the name. It is absolutely essential to you as a buyer. The data that they have and the access to the properties, you know, nationwide. Yeah. I think it's like £500 or £600 for the year. And you'll get that value back in a deal, one deal, very easily. You cannot look at auctions without having a subscription. And that's from someone who isn't commission based.
2.5.
Yes, and also like one of the things is like you will get money on a deal, but also you will get money not buying deals that you would otherwise potentially be looking at, spending money on solicitors, going to viewings. Sometimes on the AG you see that if something's been offered several times, if basically you see the street history, and that's a super valuable thing, and it saves a lot of time and money just knowing which properties not to go for, as much as it helps with what properties to go for.
Surprised you're not getting more risk.
Yeah, so
Can
true.
I just add, you know, on that previous question about the pre-auction bid, the one that I just bought before Christmas, at the viewing, I asked the question and they said, no, he definitely wants it to go on the day. And when I was on holiday, literally it was a few days before the auction, and I emailed and asked again, and they said, yes, you can do it within 24 hours if you pay the deposit. So I actually secured it that way. So I asked twice.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So
No,
it's worth asking more than once.
It is a valid comment, and I think a lot of sellers are much more open to doing pre-auction deals a few days in the last week before the auction, because it just that the emotions are higher. You know how the marketing has gone, how many people are registered to bid, and there's potential to be doing things in the last week as opposed to the first day the catalog comes out, or the first day the property comes up, because no one really has information to make an informed decision. And after in the last week, there's more information available. Okay, guys, should we get to the guessing again? I want to get something right today.
Come on. Well, I think this is going to sell well. This is really close to Gunnersbury Park. It's a lovely green space, South Ealing. Oh, it did sell.
That one already went. Maybe
Already
we can
gone.
go to Finchley.
Let's go to Finchley.
Oh, look at this, Bishop's Lane. Look at this, guys. Egham, Surrey, 1.4 million. Actually, I looked at this one. It looked amazing for what it is, and also very much not an auction property. But I think it's priced like an auction property.
This does not look like it's placed here, but I mean, if someone really, really wants it, I mean, someone's going to have cash for that anyway, or they're going to be able to get some kind of, you know, option in order to not necessarily need lending on something like that at that level. But yeah, that is a lovely property. I mean, do you know what the beauty with this is? You get all the bullshit with estate agents on the market of people gazumping each other and coming in higher, and then the vendor deciding not to sell to this person because they didn't like them when they came to the viewing and all the rest of it. Whereas here, you've got an opportunity. If you like a property, it doesn't matter what's happened. If you want it, you can pick it up at the right money. And there is absolute certainty of exchange of contracts, completion, etc. So I kind of like this, especially for something like this. If someone really is in love with it, they'll buy it.
Look at this outdoor swimming pool
private
room,
lake,
tennis court.
veranda.
If it had a paddle court, I would go for it.
I'm there just to play pool. So just let me dig down the back of my sofa. 1.4 mil.
I don't think that's bad value, you know, at 1.4. That's, I mean, to be honest, house for your money in Surrey.
It's for 4,500 square feet. So you know, yeah, 4,500. That's £300 a square foot.
Probably worth double that price per square foot. And then the plot size, the lake. I mean, yeah. If I was living around there, I'd be picking that up if I can under 2 mil. I think under 2 mil, that's good value.
I'm saying 2 million for it. That was my guess.
Egham. Okay, 2 million.
Yeah. I'll go 1.65 on this one.
Oh.
Samantha, don't be a wedge here.
No,
So
I was going to say
you're
1.75.
Right.
So I'm going to still stick with that.
I'm going to
Hey,
say
Howard, 182,500.
You know what? Just because you said that, I'm going in at 1.9. All right, that's I'm going in at 1.9. I'm going to wedge.
Piotr, can you do some street view on it? Let's have a look at what it looks like on a street view, because I'm assuming it's got some kind of is it some kind of gated driveway, or there must be something, because it looks like a big plot. So, well, first of all, let's look at the aerial shot before we look at the street view, maybe.
Yes.
We've had another question. From your experience, is there a pattern you see of when in a year you tend to grab the best deals, or is it entirely random? The best advice, Christina, I can give you on this is you need to be active in the market throughout the year, because that activity opens you up to opportunities. There is no, back in the day, sometimes a December auction would be a good time to buy, or a September auction would be a fantastic time to sell. And, there is a lot less of that because the auctions are so much more frequent. They're so, the access to the auctions is so much better now. Everything's online, everything's accessible. Really, you need to be paying attention to the area and the asset type that you're looking to buy. And you just need to do the work. Make sure that you're in a position to transact, and do that whether it's January or August or September.
Yeah. To be fair,
I have no idea what this is, but this looks like a pretty posh
it might be this
area.
whole red outline, Piotr.
Thor Park.
The whole thing.
Could be. Next
Have a
to Thor
look.
Park,
Have a look in there. Is it not in is that not a property
maybe
there?
this one. Oh, maybe it's this one over here. Look, this is the house.
Yeah,
and it's a
that's your
small
lake.
Oh, there it
private
is.
lake.
Yeah.
Tennis court. I think it's the whole thing over here.
That looks nice. That's a good plot. What do you have next to you as well? Just out of interest. What's around you?
What this Thor Park,
Another
retirement village. This
Yeah.
the
And then there's
whole
other huge
amusement
houses
center.
with yeah. Yeah,
Nice.
Thorpe Park. Lovely.
Let's see what it is. Let's see what this is
I
going to
think
sell
we
for.
may have over-egged this one, people.
£1,350,000 then, take another 10. First time.
Nowhere
This
near
is
that.
incredible. I mean, you would struggle to build it for this amount. Just the plot value is fairly.
I think this is purely
now.
a finance play.
370.
Difficult to get finance on it within 28 days at that kind of level. So that's what restricts the amount of buyers. So you've got to
Selling
be
down
cash,
£5.
or have access to, some kind of facility.
75.
Let's see who's selling this.
1,370,000, 75. Thank you. To be helpful.
I'll be amazed if you say
75,
housing
380.
association here. The director of the housing association.
375,000, 380 now.
This does have special condition.
1,370,000.
It looks like a private seller.
80,
An owner-occupied sale, probably 30 days
85,
completion.
390.
I mean, on something like this, we would
90
normally
now,
recommend to our
95.
vendor, a 6 to 8 week completion,
95, thank you.
because
And
it's
round
it's
to
that kind of
4.
value price where there's a lot of value in giving somebody a little extra completion time.
£1,000,4.
Guys, I'll be back in a sec.
Oh, Piotr's left us.
The one thing I was going to say is everyone wants a silver bullet, right? Everyone wants I want to know which auction is the best auction to buy from and what day. And it's like there is one auction to buy from at a set point of time, and that is where we buy. And it's like that's not the reality of what happens. The reality is you've got to work hard, you've got to dig deep, you've got to hustle. Everyone just wants a silver bullet, I feel, these days, and it's never going to. If it was that easy, that auction that was easy to buy from has become an auction that's now difficult to buy from, and it's selling really well. So look at that, gone unsold.
It also depends on the individual assets as well. I think you just have to be looking for the deal, not for the auctioneer.
Agreed. What have we got now?
Yeah, we were all so very wrong on that. Lovely bit of Finchley. One of the Art Deco blocks. N12.
275, thank you. 280.
Richard
277,
Platt guessed it
280,
didn't sell.
thank you.
He was
285.
correct.
There we go.
285,
He's probably going in
35.
with an offer right now.
35, 37.5.
So what's the lease term on this one? This because the
35.
flat is
Come back to me.
Very good question.
287,
Two-bedroom ground
290.
floor flat. The block needs a little bit of work,
287.5 then. 290 now.
and it's 79 years left unexpired.
It's on that very edge.
Here we go.
It's at 290,000.
that's section 42. Is that for the lease extension?
It is for the lease extension.
So you could
indeed.
actually do
Second time
a
to be right.
simultaneous purchase and lease extension purchase, then presumably.
Well, I mean,
This is the
depends
worst
on-
kind I've seen.
it depends on whether they've drafted the section 42, because a section 42 notice,
292,000.
if it's drafted incorrectly
First
or
time.
served incorrectly,
Right.
it's not worth the paper it's printed on.
Second
And
time.
if they
What do you
put
guys
in a
think
value
of?
that's unreasonable, then it can be misleading. So
194.
yeah, tricky.
Critical
Oh,
then that your solicitor has a look at the pack beforehand.
Oh yeah. For
Yeah,
the short
definitely.
leases,
So,
yeah, definitely.
Thousands. I'll wait for you at 294,000 then. First,
Some sort of letters. Definitely this needs a solicitor to review it,
second time.
to check the validity of that notice and everything else.
I mean, it
That's
looks
fine,
good
Tom,
insofar as they've got service charge accounts in there, which you don't always see at auction, especially for leasehold flats. For whatever reason, they don't always put the service charge in there. But there's a tribunal application as well, so it looks like this is quite a busy property.
There's lots going on there. There's a counter notice from the freeholder.
Seller there.
Instead of 4,000, they want 25,000. It's a bit of a markup.
There's a
Well, I think-
discrepancy there.
I think 20k is definitely around right. 25 is what a freeholder, professional freeholder would come back with. So it didn't sell. Guys, you get into property of our seller. We're not going to be guessing on this one because it's
We have a conflict
too
of
much.
interest.
too much at
Yeah.
stake. We want this to sell for 2 million.
Yeah, we're going to be literally on the edge of our seats, just kind of.
Let's see, Hope Street. I was actually looking at this one for someone I know, and it was guided it really low. It was guided much lower. I think it was 130 initially, and apparently lots of people wanted to view it. In my opinion, this is a 275k done up value, maybe 300, and it needs a lot of works. Let me show you. It needs proper works.
I'm going to give you a chance at 2.5.
Someone started something, I think, but I haven't finished.
I mean, if this is the perfect kind of trader lot. If this isn't a trader that's selling it, somebody's missed a trick.
See.
215,000.
Stephen, so maybe it's not.
Otherwise,
It doesn't say here who the seller is.
I think it looks like a trader.
Yeah, it has that certain je ne sais quoi.
32,500. 217,500. I bid. Give me 220. 217,500.
I think this is pretty much selling for market value, including like the spending to do the refurb and everything else. But it's an end user.
Mm.
First time. 217.
I mean, in like Maidstone, Kent, a property like this, you know, if you're a trader or a cash buying company, you'd pick these up all day because they're great little sellers.
Mhm.
I'm tempted to go thousands now, if you bid quickly, please. So I'm at 220, let's say 221. If you, 220 I have, 221.
I can imagine now that 2 or 3 people like left in this bidding like sweating and really stressing out about making the next bid because they're probably above the maximum bid now.
£1,000 Street Maidstone, 220, 33. Giving you a chance to bid that 1,000. You're not taking it. 220,000. That's going to go. 220.
220, very good price. But now the start of the show, Hatfield Road is Streatham.
This is like surrounded by really nice kind of green spaces, and it's just down the road from the train station. And pretty much the whole road has been semi-detached or detached houses that's been converted into flats. It's a big, beautiful property.
It's got planning for conversion to 3 flats
You want to start me at?
and an extension in the park. And it needs refurb.
I'm thinking, well, let's see how we go.
Let's see. It's very, very interesting. And this is where
Let's see.
this is right outside Birmingham station. It's actually not here. The map is slightly.
Yeah, it's a little bit closer.
Point.
What sort of values would they go as flats? If it was split and
Public property.
To be honest, the flats could be about 450 to 500. And it's potential to split it differently into flats because this is it's a huge property. And the first planning application we need for 3 flats. There were some plans proposed by the architects for 4 flats, and I think it's still not finished product in my opinion. But houses in this area are about 1.4, 1.5.
Oh
So
wow!
This might be someone wanting a big house.
Yeah.
100,000 now on the proxy. 910, I say.
900.
Give interest. 910. Thank you. 920. He's back. 920. 930. 930. I bid. 930. And there's 940. 950. Greg, that's you at 950. Proxy bidder. Thank you. 950,000. 960.
This is going well. Will this get 2 million?
It's at 950 now. Go 5s. Comfortable. Maybe at this level. 950 on the table. It's with the proxy bidder. Take 5. Anybody? Harfield Road Stratton. Great looking property. What's of it to? 950,000. I'll take 5. Okay, it's going to go. So listen up. £5,000 might buy it. 950. First time at 950. Second time at 950.
955.
960 now. There you go. 965.
Oh, a couple of bidders are slow rolling.
31. Great location. 960 I have. Another 5.
Slow rolling generally means when they wait for the auctioneer to do the 3 count and then bid at the very last second of the 3 count.
I think there's another 5 out there, but we'll see. Second time at 960. Make no mistake. Thumbs up. Third and final time at £960,000. Greg, I assume you're out there. It's gone. Proxy bidder's gone. So, you know, might be clear. Got a bid though. Third and final time at £960,000. Streatham. I'll lose it to 5. All down at 960. I'll wait for you. £960,000. Lot 34.
960.
Nicely done.
Very good price. And you say I asked if this was one of our lots. Well, this was one of our clients, Hamid clients' lots. And I'm just going to put a link to all of our clients' lots in upcoming auctions for everyone to see if there's anything you like the look of.
Good sale. Looks like it's maximised the value, to be fair.
we're going 2.5.
That was very good. Yes. Well, we got also a question from Asim. Can you guys check out lot 253? I think that one's going to be towards the very end of the day. But Asim is thinking of going for it as his first auction purchase. What do you guys think? You up for some live deal analysis?
Yeah, let's have a look.
2.5, 55.
All
Why
right,
not?
cool.
Curiosity killed the cat. Let's go.
Asim, Saif will tell you how much it's going to sell for. Samantha will tell you how you can finance it. And we can tell you how much you can sell it for in the auction.
260, 2.5, thank you.
Let's return to the catalog. Lot 253.
2.5 against you.
Let's mute Gary for now. 253. Oh, this is in Manchester. So I think we've got some expertise here.
Baltimore Road. Oh my goodness.
Very
M21.
good. Oh my goodness, good. Oh my goodness, bad.
That's good. Yeah, good.
Oh my goodness, nostalgia probably.
Yes. Yeah, 30 years ago. Yeah.
Amazing. So this is a 3-bedroom, semi-detached house in need of modernization, benefiting from really garden, well located for shopping and recreation.
This has got flip written all over it. This is a classic type of flip that a lot of the Northwest type of guys will do.
Yeah, refurb, stick it on with a local agent. Bosh, done.
Semi-detached, need modernization. Let's see who's selling it. It's
Power of
certified
attorney.
power of attorney. There's a contract. So let's look at the contract. The seller is Sophie Elizabeth Blanchard, as attorney for.
This looks like it's a probate then, or
Yeah, administrator of the estate of. Yeah,
probate.
Mm-hmm.
But everyone knows what's great about probate for stamp reasons. So as long as you meet the criteria and you don't overspend on the refurb, and the person that passed away has lived there for 2 years before they actually passed away, then there's certain criteria you can meet in order to basically get stamp duty exemption. So this
It's a
that's
big
the kind of
property
stuff that traders will look at buying and selling again, because it's a big frictional cost at that level. I think at 100 grand it's about 5, and then it goes to about 200 grand about 10. So it's a significant amount of money, to be paying. So that looks good. I like it. We need to look at street values. I mean, the problem when you're analyzing something like this as a flip, which I'm assuming obviously whoever it was that inquired about it is looking at flipping it, is that flips usually aren't determined by street values currently, because the street value has a lag, so a 6 to 12 month lag in terms of what you see on Rightmove, etc., property data. And usually you'll find when you're flipping, you're trying to break ceiling prices majority of the time on stuff like this, which means you need local knowledge, speaking to local agents, as well as sort of Rightmove. But we'll have a look on Rightmove anyway, just to give a broad brush figure.
266, also semi-detached, I think in a really good condition, sold for 400 in 2024. But let's look at what else is here.
The only other question I had, Piotr, was what was the number? It was an A at the end of the number, right?
274A, yes.
Oh, so why is it an A? Is it because there was a plot next door to it and it was built, or?
Possibly. I think it was a surgery with potentially parking space.
Ah, right. That makes sense.
But at the same time, this property is unregistered.
It looks
and I think it's the first time it's being offered for sale since the obviously land registry started doing records and everything. Although it's got some title. It's a possessory title. So potentially it was a first registration recently.
The possessory title, Samantha, how do you guys look at that from a lending perspective?
That's okay. So we've got so something like that, where if you're not implementing planning and it's residential, we do title insurance.
Yeah,
I think this one's already coming with indemnity policy.
Oh,
Yeah,
nice.
and then obviously you've got an indemnity there as well. Yeah.
Okay, very interesting. So what do you guys think? What's guided at 205? I think the value stated on the first registration, probably that was some sort of risk value, was 240. And some sold price is about 400.
The 240 was probably just for probate reasons, so to value the estate, right? Yeah, that was lowballed, or I mean, you still need to get, you know, a professional to do it for you, but still that's based on its current condition, etc. I think this could sell for close to 285, 290 potentially.
Yeah, I was talking at least 300. It wouldn't surprise me.
Popular area, it will do well.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, good transport links as well.
Let's see. Rightmove is being a little slow today. Doesn't quite come up with properties for some reason. But yeah, it does look very good. Let's open it in Google Maps. 274A over here next to doctor's surgery. So not too bad. Where are we in Manchester?
Is it down by the Creme? It's down by the Creme, I think, isn't it? Is it down that end?
Yeah, there's a crematorium here, yes. And I think
so you're not far from Princess Parkway and the motorway network, sort of that end. Getting onto there. And you've got Didsbury, the other side.
So I'm guessing this is a good area on Manchester.
And you've got Whalley Range if you're going toward, and then going towards Trafford, and then your city centre.
Brilliant. So Asim is asking, any risks? Asim, I think definitely, hopefully you got your solicitor to look through the legal pack, because I think this one is very important to understand what's in the legal pack and how this could be affecting sort of your lending, your plan with the property, and also the resale potential, because it's really important. You know, if you're looking at this as a flip, it's really important to understand how the buyers, your buyers, will be looking at this and whether they can get a mortgage easily. So I think it's really important to kind of do proper research and due diligence on this.
I would not be buying a possessory title to flip. I'll buy it to trade, but not to flip. Just too many hoops to jump through. Too many hoops to jump through when you're selling it. High likeliness of likelihood of fall throughs. You're probably sat on a bridge that might have taken you 3 to 6 months to refurb to get to the market. By the time it gets to the market, you've had a sell. You're getting close to 12 months, and it's just going to be a whole load of stress, in my opinion. So, yeah, avoid possessory titles if you're flipping. That's for sure. If you're holding, different, because you can end up holding it long enough that you can basically get rid of the possessory title and go to absolute. As long as you're obviously happy to hold it for that period of time. If you're trading, it's someone else's problem. So yeah, I would not be flipping on possessory personally.
I think, is it 10 years, Saif? I think
12.
Is it 12?
Yeah.
Wow.
So there's some houses as a semi-detached sold for 285 or around 285. We don't know exactly because it's under offer since July 24. So quite a long time. Needed a refurb as well. So I would say 400 done up price. It's sort of possible. Maybe.
Yeah, Barnamore Road is the main. It's like a main road sort of thing. It's really, it's really long. Goes right into the centre of Chorlton. It's I'd say it's probably one of the main sort of streets around there, sort of main roads. Bus routes on there. Just busy.
Okay. Yeah.
I suspect that might be it might give it a higher value.
Look at this one. This one's fairly huge plots, sold for 350 in fairly okay condition. Like decent. ready to move
There's always a problem sort of around is sort of these locations is that you can get such a big variance in prices depending on where you are, and I don't know, sometimes it makes it very, very difficult trying to assess sort of end values because there can be quite a range.
Yeah, well,
but it is a good location. It is a very good location.
So yeah, Asim is asking question, would a possessor title mean you have to hold it for 12 years? Probably it's a good question to ask your solicitor exactly. Obviously, we're not here to provide legal advice, but in general, in order to upgrade this title, you need to hold it for 12 years, and then you have a better title. And it's really important to speak to your solicitor about this to kind of get proper, comprehensive advice on this.
Essentially, what you need is what's called full root of title, which means you have to be able to prove exclusive title for 12 years. One of the ways to do that is to buy it and hold it for 12 years. One of the other ways to do it is if you have the time and the money, and the money is the important bit here, is you can ask your solicitor to go back through land registry and the probate and all the other bits and pieces and try and create root of title for at least the last 12 years. That way you can move from possessory title to limited title guarantee. And from limited title guarantee, you can still get that indemnified insurance against that. And then you don't have to hold it for a great deal longer for it to be full title guarantee. But yeah, possessory is as Saif says, it's difficult to flip possessory because anyone that's buying it, because when you tart it up, your exit is going to be open market to end user owner occupier. And their access to funding on possessory is not the same as bridging. Or there may be specialist lenders out there. So tricky.
Okay, guys, this property, we actually looked at it in the Auction Buyers Club for one of the members of the Auction Buyers Club. It was guided 125. It sold for 305. And It was great to list it, 7 bed seats. Actually, I think this is an amazing price for Trowbridge. It's not a high value area.
Nice looking building though, isn't it?
Nice looking building.
That's the kind of grade 2 listed building you'd want to buy. Something that actually looks like a grade 2 listed building, not the one in, which one, Indeed. What was the other one that sold? Wiltshire, I think wherever it was. But yeah.
And this one is the next one, actually just being offered right now. It's much bigger, also 7 bed seats and a detached bungalow. So this is right next door to the one that just sold.
I mean, in a situation like this, if you're a trader that's buying stuff out of auction, you would buy this and then you would title split the main building from the bungalow and then sell them as 2 separate lots. That's one of the strategies you can employ there. So this may be getting the attention of a couple of traders, or it just may be a local HMO kind of investor that may be looking at kind of scaling up the number of rooms, reconfiguring and getting some investment income into the property.
Really good. And is there a plan? This is a plan of the main property. Let's look at the title plan.
Sam, you have to disappear off soon, don't you?
I do, I'm afraid. Yeah, I've got a meeting I've got to get into town for. Really to discuss some buy-to-lets on a bit of social housing. So yeah,
lovely. Yeah, well, thank you for spending the time with us.
Well, thank you for the invite. I've learned a few things, got a few tips for when I'm next looking at my auction. I'm a bit of a convert now, a little bit. So,
amazing.
Yeah. And well done on your lot. That hopefully you got the price that you wanted.
Yeah, brilliant. Thanks, Sam, and for everyone watching. Roma Finance is sponsor of our YouTube channel, and you can get in touch with them. There's a link as well if you're looking to get finance. There's a link in the description of this video, or you can reach out to Sam on social media as well.
Yeah, I'm on LinkedIn, so yeah, you'll find me on there. I do post quite regularly. So
thanks, Sam.
Yeah. All right.
Thank
lovely.
You for joining.
Thank you. All right. Bye. Bye.
Guys, so this property ends terrace, and it looks like this is the bungalow on this, and I think it already sold or not. Still going.
390. Wow.
Still going.
That also looks really, really nice as well, doesn't it? I mean, obviously it's next door to the other one, but they both look like really nice Grade 2 listed buildings, which also means it's going to be extremely expensive to maintain. So the flip side to curb appeal.
I think if you're going to do Grade 2 listed, you would want it already as the multi-use instead of buying it as a single residential and then going in for the planning and all the other bits to kind of.
It looks so out of area though. Like you look at this from the front, it looks brilliant, and then you look at the rest of the area, and you think, wow, what went wrong?
To be honest, the photo looks amazing, and this street view doesn't look so. The photo is really good.
Clearly,
and I think this is the bungalow.
Clearly, the peasants used to live on the opposite side of the road. Wow.
Look. Yeah. Okay. Well, what was this selling for? It's already in the 400s.
Well, I reckon the guy that bought next door, the guy or gal that bought next door, is probably going to be interested in this one as well, to be fair.
Really good. Okay, well, guys, we'll be wrapping up this live auction commentary pretty soon. But if you're watching and you want to get an audible version of our book, you can. There's a link in the description of the video, and you can put your comments. We're giving away 50 free audible vouchers for getting Before the Hammer Falls book. So get in touch, put your details into this form, and yeah, this is our book is really kind of all the questions we're getting asked about property auctions are all in this book, and this is second version. Where are we? 4:30. Still going. Let's see what Gary is saying about this.
Annoyingly late. Perhaps. Third and final tire at £430,000. I'm taking a run at it. Trowbridge, 430. You're losing it for 5,000 max. All done. Gonna drop the hammer at £530,000. All finished.
Very proportional to the other one.
2.5.
305, 430 with a bungalow.
You're soft. That's your 432.5 max. Does that help you? Apparently not. We tried. 430 then. I'm sorry, sir. I think you will have it. 430 for the first. Second. Third and final turn at £430,000. And that's
got live deal making also happening. Irfan just put a comment in the chat box saying Jay just spoke to Bennett Savills about Exeter. They're looking at 210 for 210 for it. Not a bad deal at that, but doesn't fit the bill for my strategy, so not for me.
Don't now you know. Come on, nicely done, Irfan.
At whatever price works for you. Brilliant. Okay, well, Gary's off. I think that marks a good time for us to wrap up this this live stream. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Hope you guys got a lot of value from it. And that deals to be done in that auction. It's post-auction, pre-auction, in the auction. And also, if you have any deals that need selling quickly, Saif is always looking. Saif, are you ready to do some deals?
Short lease, 10 years, 5 years. Anything you can't get funding on, bring it to me. We'll look at buying it for sure. So yeah, so that's something we've been doing quite a lot of recently. And it's been going quite well because ultimately people don't have to take much risk and we can end up buying, selling and giving them some of the profits. So yeah, that's definitely something we're interested in speaking to people about.
Brilliant. Okay. And yes, people can get in touch with you as well through Instagram, social media,
probably the best. Yeah, Instagram's probably the best way, and then we'll take it from there. So my Instagram handle is Saif Derzi, SAIF DERZI.
Nice one. Cool. And if you're looking to sell anything in the auction, give us a shout as well. Yeah, I hope to see you guys in the next live stream of another auction. I think we might do it more often. It's been quite an interactive session, so we might come back and do it again. Cool. Have a great day, everyone.
Take care.
See you soon.
Goodbye.
Well, it's your bid at 390,000.